A UCLA study reveals that marijuana dispensaries in a city does not necessarily indicate that there'll be an increase in crime in that city. Now, that's always an excuse that officials use to shut down these dispensaries, but we've done a study about this before. In fact, the study that we talked about before said, look, if you have cameras set up outside these dispensaries, if you have security guards, it will actually deter crime because criminals know, yeah, maybe I don't want to target a place that has so much security. Well, UCLA is now reinforcing that notion in their study, and they're basically saying that there are no observed associations between the density of medical marijuana dispensaries and either violent or property crime rates.
And further found out that dispensary security measures like door guards and security cameras may be crime deterrents, as Anna was saying. To which, of course, I say, of course! And besides which, look, I mean, I know it's a cliche, but it's also true. After you smoke pot, you're not going to be like, okay, let's do a violent crime. You're much more likely to chill out, grab some Doritos, tacos, haha, you know, the usual stuff, but it's true. Mm-hmm. You know, we haven't really believed it, but society as a whole has accepted this nonsense mythology that they came up with. That if, you know, people do pot, oh my, they'll be crazed criminals and they'll be hooked on the pot and they'll rob and steal anything and everything in their path to get it. Or they might just go down the street and get the pot just like they do with milk and cookies.
I mean, think about what marijuana is classified as. It's classified as a Schedule I drug. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, right? I mean, look, I don't want to belittle some of the health consequences of marijuana. You know, you're inhaling smoke, it could be bad for your lungs, yada, yada, it makes people lazy, yada, yada. I have to do all these caveats because people get outraged that we pretend like it's no big deal. But in reality, it's really no big deal.
Yeah, it's no big deal. You go ahead, go lose your mind over it, okay? You'll be a lot more dangerous than anyone who's ever smoked pot. No, because I say that within the context of the things that are legal. And you have to understand, Schedule I means that it's the most dangerous drug, not the least dangerous, okay? Alcohol is legal. Does alcohol lead to more fights than marijuana, more violence than marijuana, more crime than marijuana? Come on, you're kidding yourself if you think that that's not the case. I mean, in fact, I don't even believe anybody in the country actually believes that. Of course alcohol leads to more violence, more trouble, etc. I bet you coffee leads to more violence than marijuana in the country.
Now, lack of coffee.
Yeah, depending on what his excuse is this day for Joe Walsh. Okay. I had too much coffee. I didn't have enough coffee. Okay, but anyway, that's when he's yelling at his constituents. So the bottom line is, it's nonsense. Within the context of the drugs that are legal, marijuana is no big deal. Now, if that's a problem you have with me saying that, have at it, Oz.